folks, this is a quick introduction to the newest member of the Danley Design Tools family, DDT Lite. It's available free for download to iPad or iPhone devices. Just go to the App Store and search for DDT Lite. Now, DDT Lite is a work in progress, but I think you'll find version 1.0 quite useful, and we're making rapid progress so you can expect significant upgrades shortly. When you launch the app, you'll see this screen. The top part is where the coverage is plotted. If you are familiar with DDT 2D, you'll feel right at home with DDT Lite. You can see the familiar XY coordinate indicator and the high def and low def buttons. Next, the frequency that you want the map drawn at. DDT Lite maps at 3rd octave resolution, however you have the choice of using power summation or phase summation for the plot. I've produced a 2-part video on power summing called Smooth Move. It's available on the Danley website under Danley U. Alright, let's take a look. The speaker button lets you place speakers on the screen. We'll look at that in a moment. The mic button lets you place mics. The FR button will take you to a new screen that shows frequency response at the mic positions. And the options button takes you to the options page. Let's go there first. We see that on this page we have a number of options, and we'll come back to all of these. But let's make sure that the options are first set to off. And let's choose feet for the units. Okay, back to speakers. There are 2 ways to place speakers on the screen. The method that you choose will depend on what questions you're asking with DDT Lite. So, for example, if you're wondering how a loudspeaker or cluster will perform at some specific distance, it's probably wise to set the speakers at location 0, 0, so that it will be easy to place a mic at the required distance. If a calibrated distance is not critical, then you can just place the speakers anywhere you want. To place a speaker at 0, 0, first touch the colored box to select one of 10 speakers. Choose a model, remembering this is a 2D program and you must choose between a plan view and a side view. Now touch the small checkbox. A speaker will appear at coordinates 0, 0. Now, you might need to zoom in to see it. To zoom in, simply use the spreading motion like you use to zoom in on a photo on an iPad. To move the screen around, simply touch and drag. Sometimes it might be difficult to find the speaker that you've placed. Try touching the LD button and creating a coverage map. That'll guide you to the speaker. Let's zoom all the way in on the speaker, the blue one. Good. Now, let's add another one right beside it. The easiest way to do this is to use the other method of speaker placement. First, touch the yellow speaker button to select the second speaker. Now, touch the screen where you want to place the speaker. Okay, now touch the larger box. You see the yellow speaker appear on the screen at the position you selected. To move the speaker without moving the blue one, simply touch the XY boxes. You'll see they light up. Now, touch the screen anywhere and you can move the yellow speaker around. When you have it in the desired position, touch the XY boxes again and the speaker will be locked on the screen. Now you can see that if you scroll around the screen, the 2 boxes move together. If you want to change the angle of one of the speakers, select the speaker by choosing the appropriate colored box, then touch the angle button. Swiping your finger across the screen will rotate the box. Touch the angle box again to lock it in place. Of course, these boxes also work for placing speakers and setting angles. You can type numbers directly into them. Now, let's set out a few microphones. And here again, there are 2 ways to place a mic. If you know the location in XY coordinates, then enter them here. This is useful if you've set your speakers to a 0, 0 and you want to know the performance at, say, 150 feet. Simply enter X equals 150 feet, touch the small checkbox to activate the mic. You can also place a mic by simply touching the desired location on the screen and then touching the larger colored button. While we're on this page, you can see that DDT Lite also has a circle of mics feature, useful for looking at coverage or building directional base arrays. Alright, if you touch the FR button, it'll bring up the frequency response graph. If you touch the graph, it'll bring up a cursor at the point where you touched it. Note, the cursor doesn't really scroll, but you can move it by touching any point on the graph. You can hide the cursor by touching the refresh button. The plus and minus buttons here adjust the floor or bottom of the graph. All right, let's go to options. Speaker number turns on the numbers next to the speakers. Auto refresh will automatically redraw the screen after a change is made. SPL numbers places a small SPL box next to each microphone. In DDT Lite, all the SPL numbers are A-weighted. Phase calculation turns on and off phase for the coverage map. And finally, SPL on touch option, which returns an SPL value anywhere you touch on the coverage screen. Well, that's the quick overview. I hope you enjoy DDT Lite, and as always, if you have questions, please contact us at Danley Sound Labs, and we'll be happy to help. See you next time.